In this video, I'm going to show you how the ski hat goes together. You first start out with one of the ear flaps, and you're going to cast on, let me show you some hat that doesn't have the braids on yet. You're going to cast on 20 stitches at the bottom here. You're going to do some increases, just some simple increases, and then you're going to knit straight for a bit and just follow the directions, and then you're going to do a few more increases, and then you're going to break off this ear flap, push it to the end of your circulars, and cast on for the other ear flap. You're going to work the second ear flap just as you did the same, very, very basic instructions. When you get to the last row, you're going to knit back, and then you're going to cast on some stitches on your circulars, and you're going to then knit across your first ear flap. So now your two ear flaps will be connected together. You'll then work back and forth, building up the back of your hat. Often in a ski hat, the back isn't long enough, and the back of your neck can get cold. So I designed this so that the back of the ear flaps has a nice almost inch of extra material there. At the same time, you're still going to be increasing on the front of each of the ear flaps. Once that's completed, as you come across, you will then cast on stitches to the other ear flap, and now you can be totally working in the round. You'll work a couple more rounds of straight stockinette stitch before you start your purl bumps. This area that you've just done your stockinette stitch before you start 2 purl bump rows is where you're going to place your braid at the end of when you're done with your hat. And that braid should lay right in that little channeled area there, like so. And then from there on, the hat is just a matter of doing your motif. Just follow your motif. Each hat, each college is different. Then 2 more purl bumps, and then just a basic decrease on the top. The one row that you do the decreases on, you're just using your main color, and when you're not decreasing, you add every other stitch will be your contrast color. And that's it. Now, you know where to position your braid in the front. Here's in that channel. But I find the braids, the 5-foot braid, I put on the back. And you can either use yarn, or you can just use a needle and sewing thread. And then I put on the front. And I lap the front braid over the back braid. And then that's it. Your ski hat is done. As with all of these collegiate motifs, we've got areas that have long floats. And you can see how well this was knit. It's yellow in front and blue, dark blue in back. The gal who knit this for me did an excellent job. Her stitches are nice and firm, her working stitches, while her floats in the back are just, they're perfect. They're not loose, but of course they're not tight to pucker her work. To be able to accomplish that, you've really got to concentrate on getting your gauge, because if your stitches are loose, you will see that blue in the back. So you've got to make a nice firm knitted material in the front while keeping your floats loose in the back. What I do is when I'm going across a big stretch like this, I'll go 6 stitches, and then I will twist my yarns, as you will see in one of my videos that gives you tips on tacking down your floats. But just do a real nice firm stitch, then twist your contrast color, laying it on the top of your working color in the back, and then I will continue on with my yellow. when I get to my first blue, or my first color that I've been floating all the way back, and I'm knitting it, once I do that knit, I give my yarn, my knitting a nice stretch. I'll just actually push it out, and what it does is it doesn't affect my knitted stitches, but it ensures that my floats are not going to be tight, and it just loosens them up just right, so that then I can continue on and know that I'm not puckered or pulled here with those long floats. Sometimes the long floats are a little bit frustrating, but to be able to get all of these different letters and words and it's the big motifs of the colleges that to create that likeness, we just have to do long floats.